Oh yeah, there's only a couple of days until Season 3 begins, guys. I cannot wait for this, but I have a very special message in this video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Stylosa, and this is Unit Loss. So let's talk about your placement games. And your placement rank, well, it really doesn't matter. After you finish your placement games, don't worry too much about the rank it gives you. Also, don't put too much pressure on yourself during your placement games. I know you guys will do this. Everybody does this. I've had horror stories sent to me of people that they literally do not finish their placement games because they put too much pressure on themselves. I think it's human nature, right? To be graded, to be given a rank, a sort of a mark on your performance after 10 games in Overwatch is kind of ludicrous anyway. But if you get given the result of 2.6, but last season you actually got 2.8 in placement games and then you moved on to become a diamond player, you're going to feel like, oh god, I am so bad, what has happened? Well, let me explain what has happened. In Season 3, you will get a worse placement rank after you finish your 10 placement games. This is because they want to calibrate you lower, so when you actually get into competitive games, you will start winning games or have more of a chance of winning them. Because the very worst feeling in the game, and there's not even an argument with this, the worst feeling in the game would be completing your placement games, given a rank of, let's say, 2.9, which will put you into high platinum, and then you lose the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games on the trot. Now, people have said this to me. I've had messages over Twitter, I've had emails sent to me, something must be wrong, Sty, blah, 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 I've dropped down in the ranks. But really, actually what's happened is the game gave you the wrong initial rank there. It placed you too high, and to combat that, they're going to actually kind of place you too low to give you a chance to work out of those areas. Now, before you start, because I know what you're going to say, oh god, Sty, I don't want to get stuck in elo hell. Now, this is a very common misconception with Overwatch. You get put into games with players of the same skill rating. Now, it is impossible for Overwatch to work out your individual skill because it's a team game, right? There's 5 other players on the team. Who knows what they're doing? You might have a really good player, but for some reason his internet drops out, or you have an amazing player, but she can't play today because of whatever. Maybe her mouse breaks halfway through the game. There's so many different things that could happen, so you just can't really factor those in. But after 10 games, you will not get given your rank. I don't care who you are. Like, if I win all 10 of my games, play amazing, get 4 gold medals in every game, and it puts me wherever the hell it decides to put me, that is not my rank, because my rank will be determined after I've played more games. You see, the way the ranking system works is you have to play a lot of games. You can't just turn up and play 10 games and go, that's my rank, because that's not your rank. Overwatch is a game that develops and it evolves over time. You have to keep playing the games, keep on top of what's going on, and your skills as a player will get much better. Maybe you come up with new strategies and things like that, which will actually help you progress through the ranks. So what I'm trying to say is, do not worry too much about your competitive rank after your placement games. Do not put too much pressure on yourself. Do not sit there and be like, this is do or die. If I don't perform, then this is the worst thing ever and I'm never going to play Overwatch again. Just forget about your placement games. It doesn't matter. There's probably going to be something wrong with placements in Season 3 anyway. I mean, what the hell? I did placement games on the PTI, and I think it put me at 3.1. I did placement games on my Smurf, and that put me at 3,050 something on live. So there was a difference there. And I'd lost like 4 games, and it's like, what? So I'm not entirely sure how it works them out. There is a debate whether it's based on wins, which I don't necessarily think it's completely based on wins. I think it's based on what you're actually doing in the game. It might be based on the medals that you actually pick up in the game and how much damage you're doing. So if you're in a game and you pick up, like, let's say gold damage, but you've only done 2,000 damage as, say, Tracer for the entire game, that would be really, really low. That wouldn't be a very good statistic. But if you're playing Soldier and you do like 18,000 damage in that game, compared to maybe other Soldier players, maybe that's how it works out. I don't think we're ever really going to know how it works because, I mean, it's always something that's changing. It is by far... Well, I say by far, it is one of the most complex things within Overwatch. To work out a player's skill based off their performance and then match them with other players and then match those other players against 6 other players and make the game fair and balanced so it's not a complete, like, sort of walkover, which, to be fair, I think it has actually done quite well as Season 2 has gone on. When Season 2 started, it was bad. I mean, none of us can sit here and say Season 2 was great when it started, because it wasn't. Because I remember getting into games and I think I was Diamond at the time, would have been like sort of low Diamond, and I was playing with a couple of other people, and we would have people on our team that were really bad, and it was like, what are these guys doing? Maybe they got really lucky during placement, and that would happen. You know, there's two ways of looking at this. You could have players that get really lucky during placement. Maybe they play the 10 best games ever, right? They put so much pressure on themselves, they just play amazing, and they're never going to be able to play that good ever again. And then they get put into a rank which the game thinks, all right, you can play at this level, but they actually can't. And they cause those games to end up in defeat. Now, this has happened, I think it happened to me quite a lot, because I'd get really frustrated with weird decisions that would be made by players that would have like a higher rank than me, and I'm like, this can't be real. Like, surely they would know, you know, to do this at that moment in time, or do whatever, but they didn't. It was just like really weird. That was a problem with Season 2's placement system, because it was placing people too high. So, like I said, to combat this in Season 3, you're going to actually be placed lower. So don't think to yourself, all right, I placed at 3k in Season 2, why the hell have I placed at 2.6 in Season 3? The game must be wrong, I'm a better player than this. Yes, you are. You are a better player than that, because that's what the game's trying to do. You will go up in rank. I have no doubt about that. But I just want to touch on the game matching you with people of similar skill, because this is a problem I see all over the place. And there was actually a very funny comment on one of the Overwatch Facebook pages where some guy was going off in the comments to one of the update posts that they put up saying, oh, it's so terrible, Overwatch, everybody's always absolutely horrendous on my team. And they responded with, well, actually, we match you with players of similar skill. And it was like, wow, you've been wrecked by Overwatch. But actually, it does. So after you've played a ton of games, like maybe you played like 30 games, right? I'd say that's kind of like maybe the minimum. Definitely not after placement games, because literally anything can happen after your placement games, so don't worry about it. But after you played maybe 30, 40, 50 games, I think I played like 600 games in Season 2, so I played a ton of games. So you could say, I was playing at the level of like a master player after that, and that was that. That was me. I didn't make top 500 because I wasn't good enough, and that's whatever, that's fine. I'll try and get better next season, but I'm not going to worry about that. That's cool. I don't even care. Like, after that number of games, the rank I had, well, that's totally fine, right? That's fine. That's my rank, yeah? I'm happy with that. But if I had that rank after 10 games or after 20 games, that's not really my rank, so I wouldn't really worry about it. But just going back to what I was saying before, if you're in a game and you feel like players on your team are not performing after you've played quite a few games, it's actually you that's not performing. It's not that you're having a bad game, but you should not be getting angry to teammates because you are all around about the same skill level. Yes, you might have people having a bad day and all of that stuff, but you should be able to work through. If you focus on yourself as a player, you will get better and you will go through the ranks. Like, I love getting emails off people where they're like, Sty, I've watched your tip videos and I've managed to get into Diamond, or I've managed to get into Masters. To me, that's amazing. Or I've managed to break out of Gold. That is because they've sat down as a player and thought, you know what, I'm actually better than this, and I can play better than this. Like, for Season 3, for me, my goal is to play more DPS. I really like Soldier, and Soldier is really great right now. How long that'll last, I don't know, but I'm going to play Soldier. He will be my main in Season 3. I will not be focusing as much on tank characters like I did in Season 2. I really enjoyed playing Zarya and Reinhardt in Season 2. They were my mains, and then I'd play Lucio. Those were the three characters that I played. I want to play more Soldier because I think I'm pretty good with Soldier, and I think I can probably get better, and it's going to be really fun for me to see what the game sort of rates me as a Soldier, you know, because like that would be great, because it's almost like a clean slate, right? But actually, I've kind of missed a little bit of information. You see, Season 3 kind of isn't a clean slate. It doesn't totally wipe your stats, I don't think. Season 2 did totally wipe them and then just sort of gave you a stat. Like, so from Season 1, it was like that didn't exist, so you start from Season 2. With Season 3, I think it does kind of take into account what your final rank was, or your season high rank was, and then it sort of like adds that into your placement. How all this works, so we'll never really know. They do update videos and they do give us bits of information about this, but it's never in such detail where I can sit down and tell you exactly how the matchmaker will work and how it will give you skill rating as well, which can be frustrating at times. You know, nobody likes to lose skill rating. Everybody wants to, you know, go up in skill rating, but that's kind of impossible. Like, how can you always go up in skill rating? Because there has to come a point where there will be people who will play better than you, or teams will play better than you. You see, the beauty of Overwatch is, and I know I'm sort of banging on about this now, but it's not a single player game. It is very much like actual team-based sports. Like, I'm a very big fan of football or soccer, and in those games, the best teams can get beaten, and that's what makes the sport so interesting to watch. It's the same with anything. It's the same with NFL, same with baseball, basketball, all of those sports. Better teams can lose, and that's exactly the same thing with Overwatch. It's not just about 1v1, is this person better than you, they will win all of the time. It's not about that. It's about the way the team works. It's about how tactics are used. It's about what heroes you select. It's about how you attack. It's about loads of different things coming together. And that is why it is pretty much impossible for the game to work out what your individual skill rating is. But please, guys, take from this video this. Do not worry about your placement games. They do not matter. Play them, have fun. That's cool. Don't think to yourself, oh god, you know, I'm always going to play, I always want to play Soldier in every placement game, but some guy's locked in Soldier. So you're like, look mate, give me Soldier, I'm playing really well, and that person doesn't give you Soldier. That's cool. Just play somebody else. Play somebody to fit into the team, because it is a team game. And at the end of the day, sometimes you might have to make sacrifices just to get yourself through that. You have to think about what's going to, you know, benefit the team. But look guys, do not worry about your, just don't worry about your bloody placement rank. People have been sending me stuff, like I said, and they're getting very sort of, they're putting too much pressure on themselves, and just don't do that. Overwatch is a game at the end of the day. Please have fun when you play it, and I'm sure you will, but just don't worry about your placement rank. After the games, after you've played a ton of games after that, then that's the sort of rank that you should be at. But guys, I cannot wait for Season 3. I think it's going to be awesome. The way the meta has changed, I think that's fantastic. We're going to see a lot of different tactics. Oh my god. Alright guys, let me know what you think about this video in the comments below. Are you looking forward to Season 3? What are you going to play for Season 3? Like I said, I'm going to try and be more DPS orientated. I'm going to try and play Soldier and McCree, and I'm probably going to start streaming as well, which is going to be awesome, because it'd be great to get back into that, which is on twitch.tv/UnitLost. Alright guys, I'm Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you like the video, then like the video. You can follow me on Twitter, which is @UnitLostGaming, and I will catch you on the next one. Toodaloo.